장애 아이들도
It really hurts me, breaks my heart because they too have the right to be born and live happily, but they don't even get to make it out because people decide to
정말
abort them.
있을 수 없는 일을 하기 때문에 하나님은 편견이 없으십니다.
God has no prejudice over different lives. I believe they provide us with the opportunity to serve them. Also, they teach us so many things. I believe God has placed them in our lives as teachers for us. They're not to be despised or abandoned. They are to be loved and served.
그들을 섬기고 사랑하고 그들은 사랑을 받을 존재들입니다. 제 아이가
One of my
장애아로
biological
태어나지
sons was born disabled, and through him, that I didn't do anything. I just simply loved him and served him, and through that, God has placed me where I am
것이
today.
오늘 이 자리에 오게 한 것입니다. 처음에 베이비 박스가
Initially, the very reason why the baby box was put in place was to protect those babies, disabled children.
포기할 수밖에 왜냐하면 그
When I
베이비
first
박스를
installed the
만들어서
box,
제일 처음에
I
기도하는
prayed a prayer, which is, Lord, please do not let this door be opened. But now I get a sense of relief when there's a baby coming in, because we've seen so many cases where the babies come with the umbilical cord still attached, and sometimes mothers bring in the babies with just bleeding, and it's obvious that the mother didn't give birth to the baby in a clinic, just outside somewhere, and the baby would have died and if the box wasn't there. So I get a sense of relief nowadays too, thanking God for His provision.
그래서 그거를 볼 때는 베이비 박스에
Well, now we get about 25 per month, and to this day we have received 641 babies.
25명이 들어옵니다. 전화가 옵니다.
I received calls such as, Pastor, I have poison to kill both myself and my baby. And another mother say, I was about to throw the baby from the 3rd floor, and I was going to throw myself down from the 5th floor. Another mom was trying to choke the baby to death, and when she came to senses, she was literally choking the baby, and afterwards she was just crying with the baby. We have cases like this, and they receive protection through the baby box ministry.
침대에 던져버리고. 그리고
I also feel called not just to take care of the babies, but also to take care of the parents, because I feel called to comfort them, and I'll bring comfort, also introduce the Lord to them.
왜냐하면 그리고 그들이
They also say that there's nothing for them to do for the babies, but I challenge them, there's one thing they can do for the babies, which is to pray for them throughout their lives as their spiritual mother. And I also challenge them to accept the Lord and pray for the babies in Jesus' name, and a lot of them do.
이 아이에 대해서 축복기도 좀 해달라. 그리고 상담하는 동안
Also, through counseling, I also encourage them to keep their babies if possible, and some of them did. And they say that they're thankful for the opportunity to reclaim their babies.
될 수 있으면
So
엄마가
pray
아니면
that if not by birth parents, then at least they'll be adopted to a family.
그렇게 지금 왜냐하면 그들도
They have the
사랑받고
right to live happily in a family setting.
베이비 박스는
The baby box is box full of tears and pain, but from God's perspective, it's a box of love and box of life.
예수로 갈 때는 왜냐하면은
So without the box, those precious lives would have been lost. So it really symbolizes God's love and the life that God has given to us.
하나님의 사랑의 박스입니다. 고난만 바라보면
When we just see the sufferings, it's just so painful, so hurtful. But when we see beyond what is waiting for us, beyond the suffering and pain that we go through, then it is so good. It is a blessing that we see. It is hope. Those who are suffering have hope. Those who do not experience suffering, they do not have hope. So I believe it is a channel through which we can experience true hope.
그 고난이 하나님께서
By God's grace, I am here today. I fall short of everything. I'm not qualified, but God has decided to use me. So I give all glory back to Him.
정말 주님의 은혜입니다.
Their laughters and their cries, they display the grace of God. And I believe that is praise to God. And that is happiness, that brings happiness to me.